If you love two-strokes, or if you have some great memories of two-strokes you've owned or ridden, probably going to enjoy this video. I enjoyed making it, and if you want to watch it in full 4K, adjust your device accordingly. Now, I guess most of the people have watched the movie Back to the Future with the DeLorean that takes you back to the future and the wheels go up and everything, but I got something even better. My Rd400, when I pull out of this driveway, it's like Steven Spielberg makes the special effects happen. I look around and all the girls are waving at me because I'm young and handsome, and well, it's Back to the Future, and we're going back. We're getting the RD out, pre-flighting it, and getting out on the open road today. But no matter what day it is, the first job is always to move the motorcycles around and get the bike we're going to ride ready, and every day, it's uncanny how the bike I want to ride always winds up not in the front. Now, in the course of moving bikes around to get the RD out, I just couldn't help think, this is the future, and boy, Yamaha got that right in terms of making it feel like an RD. I always say it has 3 engines, but even the one with 1 engine is fun to ride. And anytime I have the 2 of them out together, I always try to take a few pictures just for my own sake. We got a long winter coming, but today is a beautiful riding day. Now, of course, pre-flighting this bike, a little more involved, and I really like to make sure the tire pressure is exactly where I want it. I don't like to have either soft or rock-hard tires, especially on this bike, because it's so light and so nimble. But anyway, just the typical things I do every time I ride the bike: clean it off, clean the bugs off, the dust from the garage, mouse droppings, whatever winds up on there. The back wheel on this bike always gets dirtier than necessary. I don't know why, just the way it is. And the 2-stroke oil, don't forget to check that. Boy, this could ruin your whole day. Now, another thing with this bike, unique to other bikes I've had, I really look it over really carefully and grab things and touch things and make sure a lot of the parts on this bike are safety wired, and I want to make sure nothing is vibrating or coming off or getting loose or whatever. And look at that emblem, that really shines up nice. Anyway, getting the bike ready, getting it pre-flighted, it's all part of what I enjoy, getting it clean. This bike has a Regina chain, heavy duty chain, and some shocks that actually Luciano gave me. Those shocks, I'm not sure they're any better than the stock ones, but they look cool. And of course, historic plates. Finish feeding the fish. Get that last cup of coffee going. We got a couple of leaves starting to change here locally, and out on the open road there's more changing. And the fish, once they're fed and once I have my coffee, I always pick a couple of fresh flowers for Karen, and I'm ready to get out on the open road. I'm never quite sure what part of the 2-stroke motorcycles is the part that captivates me. I love the sound going through the gears. That sound is just unique to 2-strokes. I don't know what it is. They're going through the gears constantly. You know, big modern bikes, you really don't have to go through the gears that much, but boy, that's one of the high points of riding a 2-stroke. This bike has modern Mikuni carburetors on it that are kind of the same size as the stock ones, except each one has an individual choke. And it was a little bit of a job fitting it. I made a separate dedicated video of converting the carbs, and they tuned up just beautiful. Now, it's uncanny how the MT-09 and the Rd400 bring out the hooligan in everybody that rides them. You just can't get on it. You don't ride them like a gullwing. You ride them like you're a hooligan, that's for sure. Now, boy, if there ever was a bike in the history of motorcycling that you would love to have a quick shifter on, this would be it. Yeah, but even when you don't have a quick shifter, that's the whole point. And you're going through the gears traditionally up and down. That is such a big part of riding a two-stroke. And sometimes when I ride the modern bikes in my collection, I kind of miss that going through the gears thing, constantly going through the gears. And talking about Back to the Future, when you have a bike that has points, this bike has points, and you're your own backyard mechanic, and you can do the tuning, and you can set the timing, and you can do set the jetting in a carburetor, set the needle, the pilot jet, on and on and on and on. You feel like you bond with the motorcycle. On a modern bike, you bond with your checkbook every time it's got to go to the dealer for something. I don't know. Maybe that's not totally true. But anyway, it is a nice feeling to have a bike that's super, super simple, easy to work on, fun to ride, and I guarantee you, absolute guarantee, this bike will never go down in value from, and certainly not from what I paid for it. It has been a jewel to me every step of the way. Whether you like old bikes or new bikes, there's an answer to that question. Which is the best? Just have them both in your collection, and have a few less salami sandwiches or whatever. But I like having both in my collection. And I know Luciano enjoys this too. Whenever we ride the two strokes together or more. Mark Morgan's got a couple of them. And two-stroke, and Dale has a beautiful RZ. All of the two-strokes, one of the things that's always a lot of fun. You pull up to a traffic light and there's always some good citizen looks over and says, hey, Sonny, your motorcycle's smoking, you know. And, and then you realize, well, that's the world we live in, whether you like it or not. Now, over the years, I've accumulated a spare crank, 2 sets of extra barrels, some extra pistons, 3 exhaust systems, 2 sets of tuned pipes, endless supplies of parts to paint if anything happens to this bike. I want to keep this bike forever. Well, it may not be exactly like Back to the Future, but boy, it's a close second choice. Any day I can get out on the open road on any two-stroke. And boy, I've had other two-strokes in my life that were just always fun going through the gears. It's hard to explain to people. Not hard, it's probably impossible. The people that don't go back into the 60s and 70s and know how exciting these bikes were for their time, and what a lot of fun it was using them as giant killers and smoking up traffic lights, and all those memories come back just like watching Back to the Future. Well, I count any day that I can get out on the open road on any motorcycle a blessing. In fact, for me, it's a giant blessing. But to get out on the RD, life doesn't get a lot better than that. So thanks, guys, so much for watching.